Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? You know me. I, Mr. 4K upscaler, always has to mess around, and nothing is ever good enough. I will never settle down for okay, this is good enough. No, I've been experimenting a little bit more, and I have find out really good TV settings for Final Fantasy 15. For those of you who have KS8000 series Samsung, or even 9000 series, and I'm gonna show you these TV settings in in a moment, but I just want to show you just how good it looks. There, everything looks natural here. Even the clouds overshadowing the ocean right here. And another thing I would like to point out, one of my subscribers, Jimbo, he's absolutely right. And I did some research and I did some tests. Make sure you turn your sharpness all the way to the zero, guys. You can thank me later, or you can thank Jimbo. He was right. Make sure your sharpness, man, it's all the way to the zero. Turn that sucker off. You can thank me later. Turn that sharpness zero, especially if you guys have a gigantic TV. Like, let's say you have 78 inch. Let's say you have 9000 series, that's 78 inch Samsung TV. Okay, you spent $5,000 and you got a 78 inch. That's a gigantic TV. Okay, you want to make sure you turn that sharpness all the way down, brother. Turn that shit down, and that's what I did here. I turned the sharpness all the way down, man. Okay, let's walk around a little bit more here. Let's go over here. All right, like right here. Let's walk around. There we go. It looks great. It looks natural. Like, see, that's what you want in a TV. You want the game to look as natural as possible. So what I'm gonna go ahead is I'm gonna show you guys my TV settings right here. All right. Okay, of course I'm using it in a game mode. Everybody knows that. Picture size, it's standard. I turned down the backlight to 13. Yes, I can turn the backlight all the way high, but I just felt like I don't know. To me, it's just the picture feels more overkill by being backlit to 20 to maximum. I just don't feel it's that good, and I'll show you why. Here, let me move it down. You see, when I turn it down to like 10 or 12, let's say I leave it here at 12, it just looks that much better. Or 13. And then brightness at 40. I realize when my backlight it's at 13, it just gives me that better, easy to kind of like a cinema like. You know when you go to cinema and the silver screen, that matte finish silver screen, it's not hurting your eyes because of the projector that's emitting that nice projector light, and that's what I did here with the backlight. I turned that shit down to 13. Brightness I left it at 40 because I already have HDR running here. I don't need to turn the brightness way down. Contrast I left it at 90 because I don't want that contrast to be emitting all those lights and brightness into my eyes. Sharpness, this is the key thing right here, guys. The sharpness. Here, let me go ahead and let me focus my camera. You want to make sure that you turn your sharpness all the way to zero. Turn that sharpness all the way to zero, guys. I cannot stress that enough. Okay. And look how everything is clear, even right here. You can see. Here, let me kind of focus my camera. Look at that detail. There's barely any jagged edges or anything because you turn that sharpness all the way to the zero. I cannot stress enough why it's so important for you guys to turn the sharpness way zero, way down there. Turn that sharpness, turn that sucker off. Move it to the 0. Move that sharpness to the 0. And you can thank me later. But look at this, man. This is exactly what you want. You want balanced, natural color. And yeah, sharpness to 0. And also brightness, like I said, 40. And then keep the color at 50. Don't mess with the color, guys. Keep that color at 50. And dynamic contrast, you can leave it at high because you already moved down the backlight and contrast. You can keep the dynamic contrast at high. Color tone, keep it at standard. I find out that it's more natural. Warm is good, but at certain night scenes, I would say standard's much better. It's more balanced. And that's the end results right here. By the way, I'm recording this in 4K. So this is a 4K camera that's recording this footage of this TV. The distance I'm filming this from this viewing angle, it's about 4.5 to 5 feet. And somebody earlier was asking me, does this TV has a good viewing angle? Believe me, it does. It has a really good viewing angle, man. And yes, it's the edge-lit screen panel. Here, let me go to this side really quick. Even from this angle, it's good. It's a great TV, man. I mean, the only negative that I would say about this TV is the fact that they put a glue on the back plate over here on the back side of the TV. And I don't know why did they do that. Why did they use the glue tape? Why didn't they use the screwdrivers? I mean, if they had used the screwdrivers, the TV would hold in place. But I guess they were really going for a very thin TV. And this thing is very thin. The bezel is very thin, man. And like I said, the viewing angle is really good. By the way, this is not being recorded in 4K. I would like to apologize. This is being recorded in 1080p, 60 frames per second. I apologize. But hopefully this new TV settings that I find out for this Final Fantasy 15 game, hopefully this helps you guys. It took me a while to get this setting because I've been, you trying to get the best possible quality picture for HDR, and this is specifically for people who have HDR. If you don't have HDR, then you don't want to use these settings. I'm only using these settings for people who have this TV and they have HDR. If your TV doesn't have HDR, then I don't recommend you using these settings. Well, hopefully guys you enjoy this, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. Have a good one.